In the 16th century, the pursuit of absolute wealth and power led practitioners to draft literal, binding contracts intended to force the physical world to yield. Records of these desperate negotiations date back to at least 538, with the case of a church official named Theophilus. After losing his position, historical accounts suggest he utilized a conjurer to draft a written agreement with unseen forces to restore his worldly status. This tradition of the written vow reached a peak in 17th-century France, with figures like the priest Urbain Grandier. Grandier was accused of formalizing a pact that renounced all other allegiances in exchange for earthly dominance and pleasure. Physical evidence of these historical vows still exists. The document attributed to Grandier, featuring his personal signature and flourishes, is held within the National Archives at the Bibliothèque Nationale in Paris. Stripping away the medieval sulfur and demonology reveals a specific psychological mechanism. These rituals functioned as a system to bypass the critical, judging faculties of the conscious mind and deliver a high-intensity command to the subconscious. The modern application of this Pact protocol utilizes household tools to achieve a similar result. You will need a pen, paper, scissors, and a photograph of yourself. When we treat ancient demons as personifications of hidden mental potential, and the use of blood as a symbol for intense emotional investment, we can apply these concepts as a set of neurological tools. This allows for the intentional programming of the human biocomputer to produce a specific outcome. Before drafting a new directive, you must perform a psychological clearing. This process removes existing mental interference and creates a neutral workspace. Using a piece of scratch paper, write this specific prompt at the top of the page. The reason I cannot have what I want is. Immediately list every fear, excuse, and negative belief you hold regarding your goal. List the thoughts that it is too difficult, that you lack the resources, or that you are unqualified. Write without self-censorship until you have exhausted every hidden limitation. Once finished, physically tear the list into small pieces and discard them in the trash. This physical destruction of the list serves to sever the emotional hold of those past ideas. You have created an empty psychological void, which is now receptive to new instructions. Open a clean notebook and write your primary goal in a single sentence. Label this section the ideal scene. To prevent your brain from deferring the goal to a hypothetical future, you must write every word in the present tense. Instead of I will have, write I am now enjoying, and describe the specific details of your success as if they are currently your objective reality. Historically, practitioners used complex prayers to safeguard against the risk of their pacts backfiring. Today, we achieve this through a linguistic tool called the cosmic clause. At the bottom of your page, write this exact phrase. This, or something better, is now manifesting for me in totally satisfying and harmonious ways for the highest good of all concerned. Combining present tense directives with this protective clause creates a linguistically precise blueprint. This format directs your internal resources toward the goal while ensuring the outcome remains harmonious. Ancient grimoires utilized complex geometric seals, such as the Pentacola Massimo, to anchor the operator's focus. Modern visual targeting requires a similar physical anchor. You construct a physical collage known as a treasure map to act as your visual seal. Place a photograph of yourself looking happy in the center of the map. Surround it with vivid imagery that reflects the specific details you wrote in your ideal scene. Visual symbols have the capacity to move past the analytical filters of the left brain. They are absorbed directly by the right hemisphere, which processes imagery and emotion. Because the right brain processes a vivid image as an objective fact, the treasure map acts as a persistent command. This aligns your internal expectations with the external reality you are drafting. The physical components are prepared, but the mental contract must be filed while the brain is in a receptive neurological state. Normal waking consciousness, or beta, is characterized by these jagged, high-frequency waves. This state is dominated by analytical chatter and is generally resistant to new programming. You are aiming for the alpha state, where brainwaves slow to 7 to 14 cycles per second. This frequency range functions as a psychological control room where you can synchronize the two hemispheres of the brain. To enter alpha, sit quietly and close your eyes. Physically roll your eyeballs upward toward your eyebrows at a 20-degree angle to help trigger the production of alpha rhythms. Take a deep breath and mentally repeat the number 3 3 times. On your next breath, repeat the number 2 3 times. Finally, repeat the number 1 3 times. Within this receptive level of mind, you apply the 3 scenes technique to execute the contract. Visualize a mirror with a blue frame. Inside this frame, briefly observe the current problem you are facing. Use this to establish your starting point. Mentally erase the problem image. Slide the mirror to your left and change the frame color to a brilliant white. Inside the white-framed mirror, project the details of your ideal scene and treasure map. Visualize yourself already experiencing the outcome and allow yourself to feel the specific emotion of that success. To finish, tell yourself you will count from 1 to 5 and wake up feeling refreshed. Count up slowly and open your eyes at 5. By saturating the alpha state with the white-framed solution image, you move the goal past conscious resistance. This establishes a psychological agreement that coordinates your internal resources toward the outcome. Your biocomputer has received the new directive. The pact is now executed within your subconscious. Your maintenance rule is strict. Do not return your mental focus to the blue-framed problem. If doubts arise, immediately recall the white-framed solution image to reinforce the new command. Place your physical treasure map in a prominent location where you will passively view it daily. These neurological tools provide the framework to move beyond reacting to your environment. You can now take a deliberate role in directing your trajectory. To begin, comment below with the first goal you are locking into your pact. Subscribe to join our community of conscious creators. Remember, you are the author, the universe is the parchment, and your mind is the pen. Start writing.